Buonasera a tutti. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I thought to start a little bit early. I said, why not? Welcome to another edition with CALCIO with Reno Zed. It's a great honor to have Mr. Trimboli at the house, Anthony from Toronto.
What's going
You hear
on?
me? Oh,
Yeah,
happy.
I got you.
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Not bad. Can't complain. Especially after this weekend of Calcio. It's was
A
an
lot of
interesting one.
excitement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, pretty much with all the four top teams, there's a lot of excitement, especially with the the Roma game, the Roma Lecce, they were losing, and somehow Lukaku managed to go up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a sneaky player, man. Like he seems to find ways when you least expect it, you know? So yeah, we'll get into it for sure though.
yeah, we'll get into it. We'll start off, of course, with Juventus, then the Milan game, because I have lots to talk about that game. Then, of
Yeah.
course, Inter, uh, yeah, Napoli, Roma, and then we'll carry on how the night goes. Before
Yeah.
anything, put a like and subscribe, and please share the content. By the way, did you like that introduction I put?
Yeah, no, it was solid. It was solid. It looks
Solid?
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something new. So then I eventually I'll do something for the Serie A, but for Juventus, it will be okay.
Yeah. It's nice to change it up, right? Once in a while. Give a
Yeah,
little
because like I
right?
said, I still need to learn with this copyright and stuff. So we'll see by the end of the show. It's okay, but I think it should be fine. So we'll see.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with this game.
Mm.
Fiorentina and Juventus. I know you messaged me right away saying that you weren't that happy about the game itself. But then I said, 3 points is 3 points. It was a little bit better than the Milan game, I'd say just a little bit. But, once Miretti finally he scored, I had a feeling he was going to score because one of my paisans from the Juventus club, Silvio, said that Miretti and Keane was going to score. But Miretti, surprisingly, he scored at 11 minutes.
Yeah.
But then, Fiorentina, they do play good calcio, like it or not. I know they can finish because I was talking with some Fiorentina that I follow on TikTok. He said the same thing.
Mm.
But, Chesney did his job. Then they parked the bus all the way till the end. And I'm just like, na, 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 na. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know a lot of us expect more, but this is like I said on my video, Allegri's masterclass. Cortomuso strikes again.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, my fellow paisan? I know me, you think alike, but maybe you can add into something that I might have missed.
Yeah, I mean, like for starters, I definitely got to give a big shout out to that back line, Bremer, Rugani, and Gatti
Got
there,
you.
man. Like they held it down pretty well. I mean, it was funny. I saw today on the AJC Alberto's live. Anthony said that Bremer's got the imprint of the ball on his forehead from all the clearances he kept making, and it's true
Oh,
because
yeah.
every time, for whatever reason, it seemed like every time Fiorentina was coming down that flank on the left or the right side and trying to cross the ball, and one of our guys was always there. A lot of times it was Bremer, but Rugani had some good clearances too, and Gatti here and there. But he's more like he tends to run up with the ball a lot. He'll get the ball and then run up, try to help out up front, like in the midfield and forwards. But yeah, I mean, if you kind of look back at it, for me, they had the one real good chance that Chesney managed to save, which was big, obviously. But other than that, it didn't seem like there was too much from Fiorentina, which is, to your point, it's surprising because they play good football, but it just, I guess, goes to show you Allegri's smothering defensive style. You know what I mean? Like the way, for once,
Yeah.
was able to actually, I guess, do what he asked them, right? In terms of playing shutdown defense, right? But yeah, like it became easy for Juve in the sense that when they get a goal in 10 minutes in, then sure, they, like you said, park the bus, which drives me and you crazy, and the other fans drives us crazy, right? But I don't know. I don't know what else you think. Like in terms of, was there anything that you noticed specifically about the game, or just mainly that? I guess with the way they played, right?
Well, yeah, but then at second half, if you notice, Fiorentina, they were attacking, but there was no way that they could have scored. Like they parked this bus. It's just like, and moments they tried to do other shots, but they have more possession than us.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like you can manage that with the Fiorentina, and luckily with Milan and Verona. But if we're gonna get into the big games like Inter in a couple of weeks and Napoli, even though Napoli is 50-50, but still we got to be careful with Raspadori because he did score a nice goal.
Yeah.
I don't know, kids. I don't know about you. I feel bad for that kid. Maybe the position he's playing, it's not the case that we've seen before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like specifically to that game, it just didn't seem like he was going to make an impact. Just the way that the game went. Again, we scored early, but it was off of Miretti's goal, right? And then they just, the problem that I find Juventus tends to have just as an overall, it's always, we talk about our midfield in the sense of advancing the ball up to the forwards, whether it's two strikers, a striker and two wingers, if they play with three guys up front, right? Like it, either way doesn't matter. Just they can't seem to. There's nobody they really have that can get the ball to anybody. Like I don't know, Rabiot, he has his moments, but I find that him and Locatelli are very much the same. They're better and stronger defensively than moving forward. Locatelli could be better forward, but
yeah,
you need another defender to play, or midfielder to play his spot. So we'll see. But yeah, for Chiesa specifically, he's been struggling a little bit because I think I heard the last goal he scored was in the loss to Sassuolo. So that's
that's a long
month
time.
and a half ago, right? Like it's a little while ago. So hopefully he can get going again. Vlahovic, to me, he looked okay when he came in, but he's just not producing. He's not getting the goals. But
I don't know.
I like the sub with him and Milik at the time. Like I feel they changed the game a bit in the sense of, trying to help out and get some offense going. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully things change moving forward in the sense of maybe they'll be able to actually press a bit more, and possession I don't worry about as much. It's because like we were saying, Fiorentina didn't really do anything with it, even though they had the ball the whole time. They didn't really do much, right? So we'll see. But again, like you said, the game's coming up, specifically Inter. We don't want to overlook Cagliari, but specifically to Inter, they have the players that'll create damage. So Juve's got to play a lot better that game.
Oh yeah, let's wait and see. Usually with these big games, they do play better because I remember last year, thanks to Fagioli, scored the second goal and Kostic in Turin against Inter. But the beauty of this, we can sit here complain. You all go do. 3 points, because it's a beautiful feeling to beat in Fiorentina. Because after all the bullshit that Comiso said, then the fans were posting these things, minus 39 with the Liverpool thing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, these fans, they have nothing to do. And calling Vlahovic Zingaros, shit like that. But then nobody says anything. They all keep their mouth shut. But even the Juventus staff, starting with Ilkan and company, no complaints, nothing. Like, of course, these things happen because they just clean their hands. But at the end, we resolve what we do in campo. Quindi, a casa la Fiorentina, and let's welcome to the next.
Yeah, exactly. On the field, that's it. That's where we do our talking, and we let the haters talk off the field, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it or not, this is the reality, unfortunately. I know most fans, say, oh, you have to accept that, or else you're not a fan. You should cheer. No, I'm Juventus. I cheer where I cheer for Juventus. I'm not cheering for another team. If I'm
Yeah,
not happy with Allegri, I say it. But if you guys keep on defending because you like only defense, like, come on, guys, we're not in the 80s. You bring up Trapattoni. Yes, but that was back in the day. Somehow we can manage to win Serie A, but for how long? Six straight wins, clean sheets. We'll see
yeah,
how long it's going to last. Because even last year, then one game penalized us was Napoli, Mozza, then boom, boom. That's my concern.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't know
No,
about you.
I agree. No, for sure. Like, you know, the score only tells you so much. A lot of the times you have to use your eyes and use the eye test to see how they're actually playing, right? And it's just, it doesn't look convincing. It's very shaky, right? So, I mean, if you're thinking that after playing Fiorentina, after barely getting by Verona 1-0, like even though we controlled that entire game, like I would say that was probably their best performance in the last few weeks to a month, right? But even that, they only beat Verona 1-0 late. So they got to pick it up big time, especially in those strong against those stronger teams like Inter, like Napoli when they play Roma, right? But we'll
Yeah,
see. You never know. I find that they tend to adapt to the way the game is being played. So, if someone's going to be pressing them, then they may kind of get back in their shell a bit, but they're also going to want to push forward and say, okay, no, we can go on the counter attack, right? So
yeah.
it just depends on the other team's style of play, and then typically Allegri will adjust to it, but we'll see. We'll have to just wait and see what happens.
Here's our paisano Pasquale.
Hey, yeah.
Grande Pasquale, a pleasure.
What's going on?
So, yeah, he's an Interista, but he's a
Yeah,
good
no, I
guy.
know. Yeah.
We go back and forth, but we respect each other. But he knows
Yeah.
his stuff, Pasquale.
Yeah, no, he's very knowledgeable. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So the question I would like to ask you, like everybody's been asking in general, what are your thoughts with this Juventus? Can we still manage to win the Scudetto the way we're playing, stopping the bus, or what are your thoughts, Anthony?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm going to be a little biased and say that I still think we can, but like playing this way, no.
Mm,
And my fear is just because when you do play Inter, when you play Roma, like especially Roma too, like Roma plays the same style. So that's going to be one of the most boring games, right? You got Mourinho against Allegri. It's just Catenaccio against Catenaccio, right?
not
So
true. Yeah, like what happened last year. Then Mourinho win after a long time. That Roma win
yeah.
2015 or something. So hopefully it
Well,
doesn't happen again.
and who knows now that they got Lukaku over there, maybe he's going to spice things up a bit too, right? So you never know. But specifically when they play the top team right now, Inter, like I said, it doesn't make me feel good or confident going into those games.
So
However,
you think like me?
I would say that like despite that, like they still have the roster that can compete with them. So it's just a matter of showing it on the field. If there's any way that they can, like I said, just even possess the ball a bit more, try to push forward a bit more rather than sitting back. Because I think, like you said, that's the biggest thing that annoys you and I is the fact that they
Yeah.
just sit back, right? Um, Anybody could have predicted that after they scored the first goal yesterday, and sure enough, they did, right? So, yeah, like I'm still going to hold out hope, but at the same time, I won't be surprised if they don't win it, right? So I just want them to show it on the field and try to convince
Yeah.
and prove it to everybody else, right? To me, I think they have the team that can do it, but it's just a matter of obviously going out there and actually doing it, right? What about you? What do you think? I think I know what your answer to this is, but I'm just curious to see what you think.
Well, what I think, I don't know. I know we have one competition. Like I can sit to say it's a 50-50, but then you hear there are rivalries. still think that we're going to win. So I will take baby steps at a time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know we have the team that can win it, but if we continue playing like this, I don't know. Things change because the big games, we can expect to win 3-0 something, like what happened with Lazio, because Vlahovic did not score since Lazio. So
Right.
I don't know. I like to take baby steps at a time. I had Interista coming out to me. Oh, you guys play like shit. This is. I said, buddy, you don't need to tell me. But against you guys, it's gonna be tough. But remember, yes, we can all talk about Inter's doing well whatsoever. But last year, somehow we managed to win. I don't know about this year, but like I said, it's not gonna be an easy win for us. So, but I even told them, you guys need to stay calm. From now, you guys are doing good. Like it's a different Inter. We've been saying for 3 years that Inter's going to be the first uh, winning the Scudetto. Then it never happened for a thing and another. So let's wait and see. I think all of us, like at this moment, the favorites could be Inter Juve. We need to stay calm and just go with the flow because
Yeah.
there's no security. Because in their end, they have the Champions League, and then there's the Coppa Italia coming on January. I think we both are going to play the different teams on January, so it's gonna be a wear down. Then Inter has a full squad, so they have everybody. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
they're built deeper too naturally because they're playing multi-competition, right? So they're playing
Yeah,
Champions League, and so they have a little bit more of an expanded roster because of that. Juve chose not to do that because they're only playing one competition. So they got guys like Illing Jr. and Nicolucci hasn't even seen the field once this year, like which
that's what bothers me.
I was just gonna say that's the thing that drives me the most crazy because like to me it doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? Like especially from a coach like Max who he should have a little more respect for these guys to say, okay, like for example, this weekend, Rabiot's got a yellow card. So sorry, 2 yellow cards. So he's missing the game against Cagliari. So why wouldn't you give Nicolucci half, like 45 minutes to play? You know what I mean? Like just let the guy play, let him get some confidence. I'm not saying to start him. I'm not saying he has to, you know, go out there and
Mm.
play every game from this week moving forward, but just like rotate your guys a bit, let them play. Even I know Illing Jr. Everybody keeps saying Illing Jr. Illing Jr. With him, it's a little different. I understand because they're thinking he doesn't want to re-sign, so they're going to sell him. But still, you're hurting his value by not playing the guy. So I don't know.
Well, same with Cambiasso. He should start that kid.
Yeah, I know it's everybody's different. Like for whatever reason, he really likes Kostic, which I understand from the defensive side. But I mean, going forward, you see it every time. Head down the wing, tries to cross it. It either gets blocked, or he misses it, or sometimes it gets through. But anyway, it just let's see. I hope he can make a few changes. It would be nice to see some of these other guys playing. Even Yildiz, let him play a little bit more, but he doesn't trust them, right? So
Yeah, we have a question here from our paisano Pasquale. Who has the biggest chance of
ooh.
losing points out of the top four? That's a tough question. Inter,
You know
Frosinone,
what?
Juve, Cagliari,
You know
Lecce,
what?
Milan, or Napoli?
I'm
Okay, you
gonna
go for it.
actually I'm gonna go a little unbiased here because I know everybody's gonna think I wouldn't say this, but I actually think it's Juve because
They
I
lose
think well of the four teams to maybe drop
to lose
points.
points.
Yeah, you know
Okay.
why? Because I feel like we're due for a sleeper game where they don't get that first goal. Like if they go down a goal, our record is horrible. Like they can never come back and even get a draw or win a game when they're down 1 goal.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna reluctantly say I think it might be Juve in this week because Mr. Ranieri over there, I don't know, he saved his job this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But just want to say what up to Nick.
Yeah, Grande Nick.
Yeah.
Going on, Nick.
But what about you? What do
Comment.
you think?
See what do you
What
think,
do you
Nick?
what do you
Me?
think? Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna go up Pasquale because he said
Oh, me.
Milan might drop points because Lecce who were they playing in Milan or they play in Lecce? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Juventus a tie because I agree with you. With the small team, anything can happen. Like well, how we win this with Sassuolo. So
Yeah.
let's wait and see. But I
Yeah.
think Inter will be fine with Frosinone.
Yeah. The other reason I didn't choose Milan is just because naturally they've just been stumbling on their own the last few weeks, right? So this week I feel like they might actually get it back together and maybe get something, get a result. Like, even last week, this past weekend, I was surprised. I thought they'd at least get a draw out of that game, but they just had nothing, man. They couldn't get anything going.
Well, speaking of Milan, we'll talk about Milan. Then we'll
Yeah,
go
yeah,
on.
for sure. Yeah.
I'm surprised one of my Milanese is not here yet. Let's see.
That's
You're totally right. Go
yeah.
ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's because it's a tough time for them right now, and they play tomorrow, PSG. So I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be very tough
yeah,
because what you just said about Milan and what I heard recently that maybe Ibrahimovic might come back to let the team grow and stuff like that. Apparently, they're not gonna sack Pioli, but this is the Italian mentality, like to keep these coaches.
mm,
It's unlike other places. So I don't know about this. Mean I said it at the beginning. Yes, only good player for me is Pulisic, but people are yapping. Oh, Milan is the great team. Milan is going to be first, second, third. Yeah, you cannot say that because they're missing the players. Well, they got Chuezi at the second half. Oh, well, he just started. Well, what kind of excuse? I know Pulisic is injured, like he did suffer injury with Chelsea, but
yeah,
that's not an excuse. Udinese, you should have beat them with the eyes closed. And I had a feeling that Udinese was going to beat them because they haven't been winning. So, and people say, oh, the ref robbed us. It's always against Milan. Oh, really? What should we say? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, let's see what Pasquale says. Let's see if Milan can finally score a goal
Mm,
in Champions League. Even though I doubt it. 6 goals, 0 goals. So 6 games, 0 goals. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right, Pasquale. That's what I said about Milan yesterday on our live with because I was with Pasquale at Super Calcio. If you guys want to check it
right,
out, you can look on Facebook. Then they put it on YouTube. It's in Italian, but if you have any
right.
issues, you can let me know. But yeah, I don't know. But these superstars, what do you think about this, Milan? I don't see all these superstars they're talking about. What bothers me with people, they agree the fact they take off Maldini, which I think it's a big mistake.
Yeah.
And they're happy about this Milan with no Italians, just Calabria and Florenzi. Like, it's kind of fishy to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel the same way. Like, not having any Italians isn't obviously a good thing, but for me, the biggest thing I notice is Leao looks really lost out there. Like, he almost is reverting back to, I know in the previous seasons, Milanisti have been very upset with him because you can just see it. Like, it's like he's trying to do too much on his own because he feels like he doesn't really have help. And a lot of the times in the game on Saturday, what I noticed is they go down the wing and they try to make crosses, but the thing is they're not even lifting their head up to see if anybody's in the box. So when they cross it in, nobody's there, or they completely miss and just it goes wide or
They
hits
did
a
a lot of
defender.
mistakes.
Yeah, they just it looks like a team that just doesn't have any ideas. They're all trying to do too much on their own, and for whatever reason, like you said, maybe for whatever reason with Pulisic, it just changes the dynamic a bit. He creates a little bit more or helps create a bit more. But yeah, they just look confused out there. So I don't know. I don't know if it's because they just don't get along as a team. Is it Pioli, like his coaching style? It's hard to say, right? But that's just kind of one thing that I noticed, like as a neutral like observer, right? When I'm watching that game, like even the way that Udinese plays, it wasn't anything flashy. Like, of course, selfishly, I was watching our buddy Samardzic, and like he had a
Oh,
good
yeah,
first. he played good in the first half. The second half was kind of it was okay, but again, like he didn't really need to make a big impact just because as a whole, Milan just it's almost like they gave it to Udinese and let them take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Pascal. I hope Milan gets the revenue as a GM and then do worse than now. If I were Pioli and they hire Zlatan, I would resign. You're right, because if they do that, put in as a GM instead of Maldini, that's a big mistake. Like I agree with what you're saying, Pasquale.
Yeah, like for me, I don't really get like why would they do that? He doesn't really have like he has experience playing, but does he have experience like running a team? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really that seems very strange to me.
I don't know what to say, my friend. I know a lot of Milanese defend Pioli. I don't know if it's his fault whatsoever. He cannot put this team together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of see Pioli kind of like Allegri somehow because he does these testing. I know people are gonna attack me, but I say the reality. Then if you like it, like it. If not, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think? Is Pioli on fire or is he gonna get fired?
Oh, he's definitely leaning more towards fired than on fire right now. But it is a good comparison though, because I mean, okay, Max since he's returned hasn't won anything, but like Pioli that 1 year, they weren't even in first. I think they came out of nowhere. They were like hovering, and then they came out of nowhere. And at the end, down the stretch, they played well, and then they won the Scudetto that year,
Yeah.
right? So I think a lot of it comes down to timing and how you're playing after the new year for whatever reason. Like even now, Inter's in first. Let's see if they can maintain this run that they're on, right? But I
Yeah.
almost feel like there's a lot of ups and downs in a season. And then, like you've mentioned before about, playing in multiple competitions, are they going to focus more on Champions League if they have a better chance, right? Because looks like they're going to be the only Italian team to move on. Like Lazio still has a chance, but I don't know if they're going to be able to make it through too. So
Yeah,
Milan,
we'll see.
as of right now, Milan's out. And tomorrow, if they lose, they're done. Like they have no chance, right? So
That's the way I look at it. Let's
yeah.
give a shout to Silvio, the
Hey,
vice president. Maybe
what's going
our
on?
survey will help us by stalling in the next game. We'll see. What are your thoughts about Pioli? Grande Allegri fan, huh?
Oh,
I always like to bug him. Then we have Pasquale. I don't even think the players want Impra back. His ego is too high. I
yeah, it's a
agree
good
with
point.
you, but Pasquale, let's be honest. These management in Italy, they're doing bad choices. At Calcio Mercato, they said that they're not thinking to sack Pioli. So I don't know, because apparently Maldini wanted to sack him. That's one of the reasons that he left, because nobody listened to him. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Will Donnarumma get another shout out tomorrow versus Milan? That will be hilarious since he's being dissed liver and over. Yeah, I don't like how they attack Donnarumma, the Milan fans. What are
Yeah,
your
no,
thoughts?
no, yeah, it's wrong. Like I feel like that's very disrespectful. I mean, the guy grew up in their system. He's a true Milanista through and through. Like,
The
well,
big
what do
mistake,
you?
he went to PSG for me. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like the thing is, yeah, now hindsight's 2020. So looking back, you're thinking to yourself like, oh, was that the right decision, right? Um, I don't think anybody could have predicted them to like for PSG to kind of have the seasons they've had over the last couple of years because with the players they had, like Messi and right, like you
Yeah,
just expected them to win and they didn't obviously. And to be fair, too, like the way that Donnarumma was playing wasn't that great either. I mean, we saw it with the Azzurri, unfortunately.
yeah,
So we know how that felt. But then even for PSG, like he made a lot of mistakes, and they were kind of blaming him for not advancing in the Champions League in the past couple years, right? So it's hard to say. Like would he have done better if he stayed at Milan? I think maybe. Maybe he
Yeah.
just preferred it. It's like his home. But obviously he went for the money, and they had PSG has a better chance to win in general. So it's really hard. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
No, I believe you, Pasquale. He sold the Condano, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Hmm.
By him playing PSG, he was a little bit out of perform with the national team.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. We'll see on the next games with the national team next week. We'll see what happens tomorrow against Milan. So I don't know. Let's wait and see. But what are your thoughts about Milan? Are they going to stay first, fourth, fifth? Like when our paisan says that makes it sound like that Milan such a great team. Like you said
Well,
on the last voice clip.
we
So funny.
according to him, we have to wait until they get healthy, and then they're gonna take off. I don't know where they're going, but he says they're gonna take off, right? But
Yeah.
no, in all fairness, no. I have to stay true to myself and my predictions from the beginning of the season. We did our little predictions and whatnot. I still think they'll finish in the top four, and that's what I predicted. I think I had them third. So it was either, I can't remember if it was Inter second and them third or vice versa. But the way Inter's playing right now, they're top two, whether they win or they lose. They're going to finish first or second. So for me, Milan, right now, actually, I can see them going fourth because of the way Napoli's playing. So if Napoli keeps playing the way they are, they look like they've bounced back pretty well.
As an Interist, I'm afraid Milan will finish last in their group.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the Champions League, you say?
Yeah, well, because right now they are last. So that's the thing, because I don't think they've won a game, right? So.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're happy about it, don't you? They're your good genie. I don't know, Pasqua. I said it too, but most Milanisti think they're going to go through. But when you have a free ticket, like Milan, because last year they were fifth place, but after all that casino that happened to us, unfortunately, they didn't deserve, what's it called? The Champions League. So let's wait and see. Wow, look who's here. Marco Caprone. We're going to the national team. Yeah. Marco, if you want to join, I send you the link. Join if you're free. You're more than welcome, my friend.
If he keeps playing like this, fucking Allegri's gonna drive him there himself.
Yeah. Him and Gatti together, that'll be good. Then Bastoni. So
I don't know. He's getting up there in age. I think we're pretty solid in the back, I think. But yeah, you never know. You never know. You might get a call up one or two, but.
Oh, not happy if they only have one game a week in Serie A like Juve. Yeah, that's my concern too, because if Inter loses tomorrow, then there's gonna be more teams competing for the Scudetto. I know you want to get that second star. I know. I know how you feel. Hey, but like I always say, we'll get into Inter con la calma. Then we'll see. Let's let the best one win, because it's gonna be. For me, it's going to be an exciting race. So, and I'm sorry, Pasquale, my paisano Nick. Sole hat trick versus Inter. Come on, Nick, fight bravo. We all know that.
Play nice, Nick. Play nice.
Yeah,
we gotta have some fun today.
Nobody's bugging us, so let's play nice. And if they bug us, we'll give it to them. No?
That's right. Yeah, that's
Grande it. Nick. Let me see if Marco. No, Marco hasn't joined. Okay, now we kind of cover Milan, Juve. Guys, if you have other questions to ask about Milan, Juve, let it go. Let's talk about this Inter. Inter will get the second star. We don't hide like Allegri. Let's wait and see, my friend. We'll get our fourth star before anyone gets their second. Hey, let's wait and see. Now the chat is getting hyped up. Yeah. Okay, moving on. How about this Atalanta Inter game? Okay, I did my last video. I said my thoughts about Inter. I know I give it a nice compliment to Inter because it's stronger than me. I cannot say compliment to the Inter, but but we got to say yes, they had that penalty kick. Shanarago scored the first half, but we cannot say nothing about Mr. Lautaro. There was one offside. Was surprised they called that offside, and then the second goal that was amazing of Lautaro. But then the 61 minutes, Mr. Scamacca scored. But Atalanta, I'm sorry to say, they did a lot of mistakes. And close to the end, they had their chance, the open net. I can't remember the players of Atalanta, but they couldn't score. You know, I did say Inter win on my last live with Santino. Santino said a tie, but at the end, for once, I was right. But we can say nothing with this Inter. As much I hate them, I'm honest. I repeat myself again to my fellow Interista, but I'm saying the honest truth about Inter. Okay, I think. Plus, with Thuram, we got to be careful because that's where I am afraid of the Juve Inter game because that kid is amazing. So they got good players like Darmian because Pavard was injured, but which Bastoni was on the bench. Like they're stacked. They're stacked. We can say whatever we want. They're completely stacked. So it's hard for me to say it. There will be the favorites of the Scudetto, but what are your thoughts, Mr. Anton? I know it's kind of hard for us to talk about, but what are your thoughts?
Well, funny enough, I was watching that game because I happened to be home on Saturday. I wasn't doing too much, so I did tune in. But you know what? It's crazy. Like the way both teams played in that kind of atmosphere, that kind of rain, man. Like it's a tough game to play in. So I mean, I know you'd mentioned that there was a bunch of Atalanta players that made mistakes towards the end as they were trying to push for that goal. Like I saw, I think Muriel had a chance that was pretty nice and just couldn't bury it. And then I think they also had a cross into Deron and then he missed it. So they had some good chances. Scamacca was getting frustrated at the end too because he was trying to get a couple chances. He couldn't break through. And then I think there was one off of De Ketelare too. He made contact with the header, but he didn't put it down. It went sky up and went over the net, right? But no, yeah, you gotta give Inter credit. I mean, the way they're playing, obviously Lautaro Martinez is just out of this world right now. It kills me to say it because as a Juventino, we don't like him. It is what it is. But I mean, you got to give him his flowers when he's playing well. It just to be fair. So yeah, right now to me, the biggest I think X factor for them is going to be the goalie Sommer. He's obviously playing just as well as any of the keepers in Serie A right now. At one point, I think he had the clean sheet lead ahead of Szczesny, but now Szczesny and Juve playing Portomuso, he's getting clean sheets all the time, right?
Well, he did a lot, Szczesny, and he even said it was a tough 89 minutes. He's the one that saved our asses today. So kudos to him.
Yeah, and you could argue that Sommer has a little bit more help in front of him with the way Inter plays because they tend to have the ball more, so he's not having to defend or stop shots as often, right? So to me, that's going to be the key when it comes time to Juve Inter or whoever's in second place fighting with Inter for that first spot when they play head to head. It's going to be, for me, it's going to come down to the keepers and who stands on their head a little bit more, right? Yeah. So
well, we're second place right now, and when we're close to Inter, si caga sotto Interisti because Pasquale, as you're saying, here's the final Serie A stand, the Inter champion, then second place between Napoli and Juve, fourth and final Champions League spot, Atalanta. Let's wait and see. You're convinced you're going to win the Scudetto? Well, let's wait and see, my friend. Nick is going on a rampage. Quadrado una merda. Hey, Nick. He had his reasons to leave because he wasn't getting along with Allegri, unfortunately, and he has to look for himself. It's sad, but he has his family living in Italy, so he had to go to Inter. It's unfortunately. Nick, Allegro will teach fake Inzaghi a nice lesson. I hope we win with Inter on a penalty kick that doesn't exist on a missed offside call. Well, I'd rather win on an honest game.
Yeah.
And we can sit to complain about Inzaghi, but Inzaghi has been proven, Karonik. I know you hate me saying this, but at this moment, Inzaghi is shutting up everyone. I don't know about you, but for me, I know it's early. Even Pasquale agrees with me. We talked about this yesterday, but he has a full squad, and with this 3-5-2, it's pretty good. So I could be wrong. Maybe the Limone effect is going to affect on the new year, but we have to wait and see. What do you think?
Well, I think getting back to Pasquale's ranking, it's funny because if we go back to one of the first videos we did when we did the preview, I had my top four as Juve winning it, and
Okay.
that might come down to our famous Cinco Maggio, right? Like we'll
Yeah.
see, right? This year
Which,
looks like it's gonna be the same. Like it's gonna come down to like the last game, so we'll have to see.
yeah,
But
speaking of Cinque Maggio, I'm sorry, Pasquale, I got to do this to you. I have that thing
oh no,
somewhere.
what did I start now here? I'm
Cinque
just trying to
Maggio.
give you my rankings, and you're starting already.
Well, you said about Cinque Maggio, but you've seen what Pasquale said. Let's not forget what said at the beginning, into La Sonana screen.
Yeah.
Well, everybody says the same thing, but we have to see what's going to happen. Come godo. If this happens, mamma mia. But I will say 50-50 if that happens. Well, you never see.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Thank
No.
you for reminding me.
So no,
You're the
but
best.
getting back to the rankings, though, I was saying like the only surprise that I had was I still thought I still think, and I'm gonna say Juve finished first, Inter second, then I had Milan in third, and I actually had Atalanta fourth, ahead of Napoli. Now, right now, it doesn't look too great because Napoli's turning it around and playing well. But I just wasn't really
For
convinced
now.
with Garcia, right? I was at the beginning, they were showing me like, yeah, see, I don't think it's going to work. He doesn't seem like the right coach for that team. But hey, right now, I got to give them credit. They're playing well. So maybe they'll put me in my place because I thought that they were going to, even though they won last year, I thought that they might finish on the outside looking in, and they'll still make it to Europe and a Europa League spot at 5, but they won't get a Champions League spot, right? So, but we'll see. It depends. There's a lot of time left. So,
Oh, what did you do, Anthony? Cinque Maggio
no,
was also the start of the beginning of the triplet. For who didn't know, yeah, the triplet. Yes, you guys had to create Calciopoli, Gold Angora. This is thanks to my boy Alberto.
I
Come on,
wasn't trying to
triplet.
start something here,
I
man.
know you did. And there you go. It's all in fun. Let them
Yeah.
believe what they believe because I don't feel like arguing with them. Now we'll be top 4, but no Scudetto for sure. Spalletti was their secret weapon. Yeah, we'll see. Still a long ways to go, Karonek. I know you don't like Napoli, but
right now, the way they're playing, it looks like they're gonna get in there. But like I said, I still feel like Atalanta, they're a dark horse. They're kind of sneaky. They might find a way to just bump them down. So we'll see.
I know, but on Saturday against Inter, I wasn't happy, man. They did a lot of mistakes, and Gasperini yep like a little chihuahua, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I think too they can be at the top 4, which is doing a good performance. Europa League. I hope they can go far because I do like how they play, but sometimes they just piss me off, man. Coppa Italia, Roma 0. Sì, Pasquale. After the triplette, you guys were nowhere, and we went to Nova Scudetti. Unfortunately, we're unlucky on Champions League. You guys got your luck, but thanks to getting the false pass supports, a lot of sneaky ways. Come on, you guys spent a lot of money, and lucky you had Mourinho that time. That was the best. So, lasciamo stare, dai. Moving on. Cavallabala, and Osimhen are good, but they're going to leave. Here, Marco. Forza Juve vaffanculo tutti. Marco, get in here, man. What's the matter with you? Here we go. Interrupt the Champions League versus Barcelona. 16 maggio 2010, Siena 0, Inter Look what you did, Anthony.
I know I started something. I wasn't even trying to start. I was just
Whatever. Let them believe. Let them believe.
That's all good.
Well, I mean, calma, Marina. I'm asking you to come in, calma. Tell me yes or no. I need you in the mix here. Marco, where's your brother? I don't see your brother. Bayern 0. PS, I was there. Oh, you were there. Good for you. Pasquale was there.
Nice.
Va bene, Pasquale. Enough with Nick, pure tu, mannaggia la miseria. Anyways, this is getting a lot of fun, but I love it. Always remember, a casa Inter e io godo. Moving on with Napoli. Nick, I need your help about Napoli because a lot of people are complaining about this Raspadori goal that was offside. What are your thoughts? I don't look at the ref, all that kind of stuff, but for me, Raspadori did a nice goal, 2-0 against Salernitana. So, me and the wife were watching that game. Even the wife said it was kind of boring, the game. Same with Juventus, it was boring. Even the wife said it. But it is what it is. I said, honey, that'll be a nice good night's sleep. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
Have you watched the Napoli game, my friend?
No, that one I missed. Like I had it on, but I wasn't really sitting down to watch it. I just kind of had it
Yeah, I
playing
was
in the
like
background.
up and down. So
Yeah, no, so I did miss it, but yeah, it just again they're playing a relegation team, so you would think that it would be a little bit more convincing, but by the sounds of it, it wasn't really the great game at all. So
well, against Milan was convincing because from 2-0, then they went up to 2-2. So somehow they have their thing. Now we have Mr. Nick and explain us about the referee. The assistant referee made a huge mistake. Okay, it was offside, but VAR cannot help there because the defending team got possession and made 3 passes technically. We talked about this yesterday with Pasquale at the Super Calcio. These rules, they don't make sense to me.
well, they keep changing all the time, and there's no clear cut like this is what it is, and it's too much up and down with the rules.
Okay, Pasquale, please. Mamma mia. Always remember, before that Cinque Maggio, you guys couldn't win nothing. You had to create Calciopoli if you want me to get really in there, okay? I've given you guys credit, and now you're bringing up the triplet, that kind of stuff. Come on. Mamma mia, you guys. Let's move on with Napoli, please.
Yeah.
And then we do a little recap here. Yeah, you're sorry, Anthony. The comments just go world wild.
No, yeah, just like I said, I didn't really get a chance to see it, but obviously, okay, there was a missed call on the goal. But yeah, just based on who they were playing, you would think that Napoli would have had a little bit of an easier time, or they would have played a lot better. But sounds like it was just pretty boring game.
Yeah.
But like I said, it just in general they are playing better under Garcia, who at one point we all thought he was going to be sacked.
Yeah.
He's still managing to hang around. They've been doing okay in Champions League, like not bad. They're still kind of hanging around there, the second spot.
I think they can manage to go through Napoli and Inter.
Yeah, so because obviously Real Madrid's Real Madrid, they're not gonna compete with them, right? So that's fine. They're getting that second spot and see who they can play in the knockout stage, right? So
yeah,
but I think that too is gonna, the further they go, the harder it's going to be for them in Serie A because there's a lot of competition, right? So,
what kind of chance? You better come here in order for me to do the chat. You said you want to come and you don't feel like it. Oh, Milan a casa. Where's your brother? Your brother did not show up. When he loses, he doesn't show up, huh? What a guy. is is Bocelli. You can forgive him. uh okay, I'm gonna wrap things up. Before I wrap things up, please put the like and subscribe, guys. Share the content. Uh oh, he's watching the Canucks. They're playing tonight. Huh.
Oh, the Canucks.
He's a
No, they're doing.
Toronto fan, so I don't know if they're gonna get along, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Wow. Oof, that. Trust me, it's not saying much. They barely won tonight, but it wasn't good. But no, Canucks are doing well. You guys should definitely keep an eye on them. They're playing good, so got to give them credit.
Okay, we do a little recap for the next, let's say, top 4 matches for the Serie A.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
it's getting kind of late for you. Sorry, my friend.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we go on. Lecce Milan. I'll go. Maybe I do a 1-0 for Lecce. You?
Ooh, 1-0 Lecce. You think? Okay.
I don't know. This Milan doesn't convince me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I still want to give them like the benefit of the doubt. So I actually was thinking 1-0, 1-0 Milan. I was thinking, but at this point, nothing surprises me. The way that they're playing,
Because in
right?
Lecce, it's tough. So either a tie for me or loss.
I have Falcone, their goalie. I have him in my Fantacalcio. So if they win, that's great for me. I'll be thrilled. So let's hope they can get it done. But no, I don't know. I have a feeling that Milan's gonna get it done tonight, or sorry, this weekend. So.
Oh, so he did a good job. I didn't do a good job, Pasquale.
That's it. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
it. Nice he's mad at me.
Nice to chat with him.
1-1. Yeah, say 1-0 Lecce in a tie. Okay. Then Juventus Cagliari. I don't know. I give a tie, so they can relax.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So what? 1-1 or 0-0?
1-1. Yeah.
1-1. Okay. It's so hard to say because I don't know what we're gonna see. I don't know what team's gonna show up. Right? That's the problem. Well, the obvious choice is 1-0 Juve because that's the only way they play is 1-0. So I'm gonna go 1-0.
Oh, you talk to me steady. Hey, don't blame on me about the Interista. He brought up the 5 Maggio, so it's not my fault. I know, it's all good, my friend.
Yeah.
Marco says 2-0.
Okay, well, I would hope. I'm hoping we get at least a couple goals, but I don't know. This team, they get one and they sit back. So I'm going to say 1-0 Juve.
Okay. Then we have Udinese Atalanta. I gave a 1-0 to Atalanta.
For that one, I think 2-0. 2-0 Atalanta.
Pasquale says 2-0. Huh. 2-0. Okay.
Let's hope.
Lazio Roma. That's going to be a good one. Minchia.
The derby.
I'm going for Roma this time.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because now that Lukaku snapped, then Lazio, it's up and down. I give 2-0 for Roma.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think like
Dybala, Lukaku.
Typically, I would go 100%. I would back Roma, but for some reason, I think Sarri's he's got something cooking because he knows it's a derby, so he wants to perform. So I was gonna say the same thing as Pasquale. I think it's gonna be 1-1.
1-1?
1-1. Even though the last few weeks Lazio hasn't been playing great. So you never know, but I think they'll manage a draw 1-1. Maybe a goal from Zaccagni from Lazio and Dybala will get the goal for Roma 1-1.
I haven't seen Dybala scoring, so maybe it's his time.
Yeah, well he was on late. I think he came on off the bench in the last game, so he's slowly starting to work his way back.
Okay, then at least Inter Frosinone. I'll give Inter a win. But you never
Yeah,
know. At San Siro, there's always surprises. But I'll give a win. I was right last time, but the Inter win. I'm gonna give a win. As much as I would like to see Frosinone win because it's kind of close by my town, but I give a
yeah,
1-0 to Inter.
yeah. I think I'm gonna give a shout out to Sule. I think he'll get one, but I think Inter will get two. So it'll be 2-1
Two.
Inter.
Yeah, he's saying 2-0.
2-0. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe to Romelu Tower again. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I just think Sule will Frosinone will surprise people and get one, but Inter will get the win. They'll score a couple.
Okay, I guess we'll wrap this thing. We'll wrap it up, don't you think, Paisano?
Yeah, no, for sure. But before I go, just everybody like the video. Please support the channel.
Thank you.
Give our Paisano Reno here some likes and share the content. It helps him out, and it's always a pleasure to be alongside you, my friend, to talk about
Well,
Calcio.
thank you very much for the support and thank you for joining because I know it's been a while, but you see people like you. I like that, which I'll be posting things on little pieces about this video on Facebook and Instagram. So at least your paisans will see you as well, not only Santino and Alberto. So, but you're always welcome and you always do a wonderful job. Even analyze the game, you do a perfection, my friend. So it's always a good pleasure. I hope to do next time with you early this time.
No, for sure. Anytime, like I said, it's a pleasure just to be along with you, and it's always nice to talk about Calcio. But yeah, we gotta.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
bring Santino too, hopefully. And you know
yeah,
what, Pasquale, stay tuned. I know I promised you. I'm gonna put you in. I know you're working in the afternoon. We'll figure something out for sure. I'd like to have you because you invite me with Super Calcio. Maybe I'll have you in Italo and me, Trimboli. Maybe some other people. We'll make a nice inter-Juve reunion.
yeah. Oh, now look what he says. Oh, easy.
Hey, buddy, we're like I told you after triplet, where were you guys? It doesn't bother me not being at the Champions League. All it counts for me to see Juventus uh, performing better, and so when we get to the Champions League, it's game over for everyone. You guys enjoy till you can. Poi è finita la filastrocca, caro paesano.
Oh,
Eh, well, good luck for you with Salzburg. Like I said, you're going to win with Salzburg. So it's in San Siro, I believe. So whatever.
yeah,
Paisans
yeah,
be Paisans. Forza
yeah,
Juve, Inter a casa. So, like it or not, it's reality.
yeah. That's right.
It's not going to change my thoughts. Don't you think, Anthony?
No. Your thoughts are always strong, man. You never change them.
We're doing pronunciation, but forget this midweek. Yeah, because it's too late. I would love to, but we can talk about it. The Champions League. I will do videos with the Champions League, or if I'm ever invited a Super Culture, if I'm allowed to talk at Super Culture, then we can talk about it, Pasquale. Or I'll have you in next week. We'll talk about the Champions League. Okay, like and subscribe. Thank you again, my fellow paisano Trimble. It's always a pleasure. And I will talk to you lovebirds nella prossima. Forza Juve, a casa tutti, e Forza Italia e vive il calcio. Sempre. Ciao ciao.